We find our crown suspended up. We don't push it up, we just connect to that elevation, to that upward feeling. And from that point, releasing down, we find the ground, finding the spine, tailbone. And the earth beneath us, supporting and holding us. So again, we find the point of the crown point and the tailbone point. Feel into the whole of the spine. And then we choose a point in the middle of the spine. And we start to draw circles with that. Slow, smooth circles. So the middle of the spine will go left, then back, then right, and so on. Can be bigger or smaller, but if you can go bigger, let the breath be long, moving with the movement. We let our lungs fill chest, belly with the breath as we turn. Other direction. So we mobilize the spine, kind of warming the spine up, allowing for more movement and more space. We try to not make these movements mindlessly. So we're not on autopilot. And we let the circling go smaller, finding the center. Finding the lower dantian, turning to one side, and then diving forward. Listening through to the spine, from the crown to the tailbone. You can out-breath down, in-breath up. So we turn to face to the knee if you're cross-legged, or 45 degree if you're in a chair. And then make curves. It doesn't matter how low you go. Go as much as you can, and then you feel through the spine, letting it unravel, and follow the feeling vertebra per vertebra. as it unravels. Making that curve, leaving the head last so you get a bit of a neck stretch in the back. Allow for oscillation left, right a bit as comes natural. And you can come to the other side next time you're up. And turning to the other side, and we do the same on the other side. Small curves or bigger curves, however you can. You can follow out breath down and breath up. And coming back to the center next time you're up. And you do the same thing forward. So out breath, coming down. Again, you can make small waves with the spine or you can go bigger, however. Just make sure that you're staying with the feeling in the spine. And coming back up. And turning to one side in breath, out breath down, and we come to the twists in the spine, so coming along across the front and then turning behind us. You can use the hands by the knees to twist your spine, looking behind. Keep the breath nice and long, released as you can. And we come back to center again. And allow for some waving, turning, moving, feeling the spine, just to help you get in. So there's the spine at the neck, at the upper back, center, lower back. And we can open one leg out, and you might want to go down from the pillow forward a bit. So here the leg can be inside as it's comfortable. If you're very flexible and you want to add an extra stretch, you can put it on top as you like. And then we turn towards the foot, and the crown suspended, tailbone sunk, and we start to make small kind of waves, meeting and gradually increasing the wave. So it's okay if you can go only a little bit or if you can go more. Just be accompanied gently, don't push. Yeah, and feel the spine. And feeling the stretch underneath at the hamstrings. Let your breath continue to be long, feeling the stretch in the back. And as you feel, you can also stay down a bit. You can just follow what you need, yeah? Feel your body. Slow down where you need, pause where you need. And we come to the other side, come into the center. And the other foot can come in as we keep it when it's cross-legged, and the other leg can open out. If you're very stretchable, you can have like a half lotus where the other foot goes over the straightened leg, however you feel. staying with what's there, with what is, as it is in the body. Going gently, but staying with what's there. Coming up. And the other foot out, so now we have both feet out. Finding crown suspended, tailbone sunk. And you can start with just finding the spine, and you can reach out if you like to start with to the two sides, opening chest and like opening the shoulders out to the fingertips, two sides. Maybe one side a bit more first than the other, however, just to get to, and then stretching both. You can follow your needs, coming down to the center, going a bit to the side, however you need. Stay with the body. Slowly breathe, be with. Always where there's a part that is being stretched, you come in there, feel the sensation. Notice where you're tensing around it. Really absorb into that, and maybe it starts to release a bit. You might be able to go a bit deeper. Coming back up. And maybe you can come briefly in the butterfly, feet towards each other. Let the knees bounce up and down. Keep breathing. Coming back. Can come back on your pillow if you're off it. And we'll do one last stretch. So you find the spine, the crown, tailbone, you adjust as needed. And then we bring both hands at the level of the heart. Index finger to the sky, middle finger and thumb touching very lightly, like touching but not touching at the heart. So palms look at each other, and the hand is in a pinch, but the fingertips of the index finger pointing to the sky. And then we turn the center of the spine and lean to one side. So the elbow will come into the leg and the other hand comes up. So now we're pointing the index finger of one hand, say if it's your right, then the left hand is at the heart. And you're pointing up and back, shoulders stay sunk. And you let your chest open. So we keep that center at the chest out to the fingertips of the other hand and continue to accompany this stretch, let's say. Don't force it. Let things open, breathe, and we're looking in the direction the finger is pointing to. You release the eye to the back. Looking to the back, it's a bit of a stretch for the eye. Again, not forced, it's released into infinity in the direction the finger is pointing. Fingers pointing up and back. Keep breathing, and maybe gradually the finger can point a bit more behind you. Maybe not. And feel the opening from the chest, armpit out. Keep the neck relaxed as you can. And we come back to the center. Inhale. Exhale. Coming to the other side. Inhale, coming up. So now it's the other hand. So one hand with the pinch and the index to the sky is at the heart. And the other one points up and behind us. And we look and stretch the eye to the other side. Releasing the looking in the direction where the finger is pointing. Shoulder stays sunk. We keep breathing, feeling that release and openness from the chest out. We don't force anything. We find the limit where just before the forcing, release there, feel into there. And coming back. Inhale, exhale. And then in breath we open the pinch and come down with the palms. Down through the body, so it comes from heart to dantian and then to the knee. Palm to the earth. So if being with what's there is not a possibility, we can start with a willingness to be with what's there. So we move in that direction. Just being willing, just leaning a bit into being with what's there. We start with simple things like maybe the sounds of the birds singing. The hum of the background noise. The shuffling and breathing of people in the hall. Our own breath. Our bodies, ever-changing moods and sensations and feelings, perceptions, thoughts. And let's come and listen to the top of the head, the crown. You find that point is connected up and just find sensation, whatever's felt there. And almost like you pour a liquid on your head, we come down listening through the body, through the forehead, the eyebrows, the temples, the eyes, the nose, the cheekbones, the jaw, the mouth, the teeth, listening, sensation, flows, currents, maybe tingling, feeling, temperatures. Something alike to vibrations. There's the tongue. And we have the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, and we release the base of the tongue. As you release the base of the tongue, maybe you sense into a release in the throat, neck. In the back of the head, center of the head, the brain, skull, skin. And listening through the neck. Not trying to make something particular happen, just listening. You find the breath that is coming through the nostrils, through the neck. So we have the whole of the head, from the crown down through the facial expression. Maybe you can let the facial expression release if you notice it got tensed in trying to focus. So we want to make sure that we make these adjustments not from a forceful mind that is imposing preference, but from this allowing kind of listening. A willingness to be with what's there, allowing for what's there to be there. Come in touch with it. Flow, move with it. And from the neck to the shoulders, both shoulders released. Finding the back of the shoulder, the sides, the front. You find the breath passing through their upper back and upper part of the chest, shoulder. Allow for movement. Make sure we're not frozen as we sit there. And that listening continues to spread from shoulders down to arms, left and right. So we have the upper part of the arm, armpit, inside of the upper part, outside. Listening through to the elbow. Finding the elbow joint and behind the elbow. Maybe you may notice how the breath affects the arms as well through the elbow. And down through the front of the arm, wrist. So we have the forearm, the inside part, the outside part, elbow to wrist. And we listen to the wrist, release, make space in the wrist. Allow for the wrist to find mobility even if it's quite still. Maybe some subtle motion, maybe just an invisible motion. Notice all the layers of tension maybe that we hold there and listen inside, allow. Notice for space. And through to the hands, from the wrist, and follow that feeling through the palm. We have the center of the palm, the back of the palm, their knuckles, and the joints of the fingers. We have the thumb, the root of the thumb till the end of the thumb. These two joints there. And then through to the index finger. Till the tip of the index finger, the nail, the two parts where it folds, or three if you count the knuckle. And flooding the index finger to the middle finger, finding that connecting point. From the base of the middle finger through till the end. Middle finger flooded. From there we come to the fourth finger. And from the fourth finger, coming to the base, meeting point with the small finger. Flooding the small finger, the pinky. From the small finger, nail to the side, and the side we carry to the palm, to the hand. So we have the side of the hand coming to the back of the hand, and including the whole of the hand, the back, the palm, all 10 fingers, the 2 wrists. Wrists to arms, arms to shoulder, shoulder, upper back and chest. We meet the breath a bit more noticeable there, filling the chest, emptying a bit the chest. And we listen to sensation there, or more subtle feelings, vibration, flow. We seem to have such a limited vocabulary in the English language for the different feelings that are felt in the body, sensations and more subtle aspects of it all. Sense into all these differences and keep moving with it. Then we have the scapula, shoulder blade area, the spine between. Just allow, listen, embrace. And absorb in. You absorb in, becoming what is being felt in a way. And from the back, at the front, we have the left part of the chest till the armpit. And we have the right part of the chest till the armpit. We have the more inside, the ribs, a warmth perhaps. Or different temperatures or other aspects. And listening through the torso, so the whole of we start with the whole of the upper part of the chest, of the torso, sorry. So we have the chest and upper back. Listening to it all at once, as best as we can, imperfect as it comes. Absorbing in and allowing that feeling to begin to sink, like it releases down through the middle part of the torso, diaphragm area, middle part of the spine. meeting what's there. Noticing the breath at the diaphragm. And flowing through, moving on. And don't get stuck. Coming down to the lower part of the torso. So it comes down one side, meeting the hips. Lower part of the belly and back on that side. Finding the qua area, the growing area, the pelvis on that side. And listening through to the other side. The ribs coming down, the spine, tailbone, hips, pelvis. You have the quad, the growing area. And we have the belly on that side. Finding the center inside, the lower part of the torso. Meeting point with the legs, the perineum. And we include all of that lower part of the torso, like listening to it as one, from the diaphragm down. Finding, noticing breath. And listening through the legs, upper part of the leg. Listening through the thighs, through the inside and the outside of the upper part of the leg. And we let it come to the knees, so just a flow through. Maybe after going through all of our body like this, also the mind is more able to listen closer and in a faster speed, let's say. So you could also maybe flow more through with a increased precision without having to go too slow. And you let it come through down to the knees, inside the knee, the kneecaps, behind the kneecaps. Just listening, very simple, light touch. Behind the knee, the whole joint area. No conflict. And down through the lower part of the leg. So you come down through the lower part of the leg till the ankles. And we listen into the ankles. And from the ankles, flooding through the feet. The heel, the bottom of the foot, there's a part of the bottom of the foot that is an arch and the other part touches the ground. Some parts get more pressure, some parts get a bit more stretch. We listen through even the front of the foot. The toes. bottom of the foot, top of the foot. And including from the feet up through the leg, up through the torso, to the head. And let's follow the breath with our feeling. When there's out breath, we follow the feeling down through the body, from the head down to the feet. Just a general sweeping through. And with the in breath, you follow from the feet up to the head. Just listening to whatever is there, whatever is noticed as we flow through with the speed of the breath. Sometimes the breath is shorter, we go through faster. Sometimes it's longer, we go through slower. So in breath, listening up through the body to the crown. Out breath down through the body till the feet. And then you drop the trying, drop the technique, drop having to do anything. Just notice, is there anywhere in the body that tensed up, that hardened in the trying, that started struggling and forcing? Just breathe there a moment. Nothing to do, no technique. Find that relief, that release. And then with that, we carry that, like let it seep into following the breath up and down. So it's a bit more relaxed, a bit maybe less concerned with doing it perfectly, a bit less forceful maybe. It's okay. Sometimes it forgets, sometimes it skips parts, it's okay. Keep that relaxation that you found when you dropped the technique. And let it seep into the technique. And let's bring the hands in with that. If synchronizing the breath is too much, you want to go slower, that's okay. So you let the hands come to the lower dantian. We just have 5 minutes more. And we let the hands sink down through the legs, following the front of the leg with the palm. Hands don't touch the leg. We're just scanning wherever the hand goes. You let it come to the feet and around. Kind of scanning through as we come up. So the hands come up through the body and down again, up to the crown, down through the front. Now, particularly if you've been practicing for a while, or you can try, we're practicing now feeling down through the front of the body and feeling up through the back of the body. So you're scanning through the front, head, through the tongue, the throat, the chest, and so on. And then when you come down, it's through the back, so through the spine, back of the leg, and so on. So the palm centers are pointing to the direction of where you're listening, where you're feeling. You can synchronize the breath, or maybe just start with in-breath up and then sync with out-breath down, and maybe you add 2 more breaths there. Let's do one last round. So next time you sink down, we come to the lower dantian. Follow the feeling down, listening through the body. And listening to the lower dantian inside. Palm centers connect to that point. Maybe with the work we did, we can feel a bit more, maybe. And let's come into closing form. In breath, expanding, opening. Feel maybe a sense of opening through the body as the form opens. We just listen what's there. As we rise up, maybe we feel a bit more up through the body, the crown suspended. Then as it sinks down, it comes down through. Maybe you feel the head a bit more as the palms come to meet each other. Tachi ball gets smaller, coming into a pinch. The other hand wraps around, coming to the heart. Maybe you feel the heart now, the center of the chest, and that pinch. They connect. Heart follows the pinch. And we come up, as we come up from the feet, through the spine. You feel up at the crown, and then down again to the heart. And that point from the heart expands, feeling this opening out, connecting. And then from the expansion, a return, we fall, yield back down, listening in as it comes into the heart, into the chest, following the feeling down from the chest, through the diaphragm and middle torso, till the bottom of the torso. Palms aligned to the lower dantian. listening there. And we allow the hands to come to the side. And the palms come over the knee, and maybe you take a moment. And when you're ready, the hand can come on the leg. Coming back to body again. Staying in touch. We have head, torso, legs, feet, hands. We have the whole body there. Allowing for movement. I hope you enjoy breakfast. Thank you. I know this can be like it can be hard work, but it's work that bears fruit. It's worth the effort. We learn slowly, gradually to get more and more in touch. And in silence, remember to stay in touch, stay with the body. So whenever you notice you get lost in thought, come back to the taste of the food, the feeling as it comes into the body, the sensation of the cup in the bowl and the spoon and the sounds, like be with. So we can continue growing in this. And don't make it forceful. Anytime you see it got tense, you can just drop the trying, find that release, that relaxation, and then you bring that into, again, paying attention. Try that out. Enjoy.